So today we're gonna do a Venom makeup look. This was only took me like 3.5 hours, maybe closer to 4. And it's really easy to do. It's just very time consuming. And if you're wearing this for Halloween, I recommend cutting a hole for your eye. You could probably even just not have anything here and just do whiteout contacts. That would also work. I don't have those though, so I went hard mode. But stay tuned and I'll show you exactly what I did to do all of this.
Starting off with the stuff you're going to need. You're going to need a towel, glycerin, a small cotton pad, Prozade, a cup, fake nails, Sculpey, liquid latex, fake blood, some kind of water-based body paint or face paint, scissors, foundation, gelatin and cotton balls, and a microwave-safe container. To make the tongue, we're going to start using our oil-based or oven-baked clay, and we're going to sculpt a mold for the tongue. There's not really a specific way of doing this. You can use tools if you have them. If you don't, that's fine. Venom has kind of like a long growth tongue, so try to make it kind of thin. Make sure you're basically just building the negative of the tongue. And then you're going to heat up gelatin in a 1 part gelatin, 1 part glycerin, and about 1 to 1.5 parts water ratio. I used 2 envelopes of the unflavored gelatin and melted it in increments of 12 seconds. But you want it super liquidy. And then you're going to add like 2 drops of fake blood and a little bit of foundation, and that'll give you the tongue color that you want. And you may need to mess around with that, but go ahead and pour it into your mold. Make sure it's totally full and just leave that for a little bit. While the tongue is setting, we're going to go ahead and start on the teeth. Take all of your fake nails and you're going to trim them so that they look like teardrops basically. Sharp pointy teeth is what you're going for. And with the magic of video editing, we're going to make that go faster. Now that the tongue has had about an hour to set, go ahead and pull it out of your mold. You don't have to worry about that staying together, and put that aside. Alright, so I started with a full face of makeup. Go ahead and remove one side. We won't be needing that. Now you're going to take, I just used a regular eyeliner pencil, and go ahead and outline the areas that you want the monster symbiote, I don't know, outline where you want that to be. I didn't want it in my hairline because I had already washed my hair for the weekend, and so I wasn't gonna do that again. And I brought it down to my neck to help kind of make it a little more cohesive. You can bring it down as far or as little as you actually want. Just understand it is going to get messy. Go ahead and outline the eye too while you're at it. And outline where you're going to put the teeth. This isn't like 100% necessary, but Venom always looks like he's grinning, so we're gonna do a spooky grin. Good. If you have long hair like mine, go ahead and put it up, because the last thing you'll want is getting latex in it. Take the cotton pad and go ahead and outline that so you have an idea of where you're gluing it. And then take your Prozade, and you're going to use that to glue it on. And because Prozade is water-based, you don't have to be as stressed about like losing your eyebrow if it gets in your hair. It's a little more chill, you can just shower it off. But go ahead and put glue on the inside of where you just outlined, and on the cotton pad, and let that get clear, or kind of clear. Perfect. And then stick that on there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Go ahead and press it down I just put glue on the outline, and so on like the outer edge of it, so go ahead and stick it down. Your eye should not have any glue on it, just cotton. Next, take a triangle sponge and some latex. If you use low ammonia, you'll enjoy this more. And also take some cotton balls and unroll them. It may be a little challenging at first. The first layer always ruins me, basically. Go ahead and unroll it. You're going to take these strips of cotton and apply it everywhere inside the outline, except the smile. You want it to look like not human skin, and latex and cotton does a really good job accomplishing that. So take your latex and put it all over your face, inside that outline. You'll notice my discomfort. If you get low ammonia or no ammonia latex, it is a lot more comfortable. I knew that I had higher ammonia content latex, and there was only so much I could or would do about that. But you can see my discomfort as I'm putting the latex specifically over my iPad. If I were doing a look where I had to make sure that this eye had like decent eyeliner, it would not have been possible. So keep that in mind when you're working on this. But all of the irritation and tears from the irritation basically just got absorbed by the cotton and wasn't that big of a deal. I also was only wearing this for a couple hours. But anyway, so you're gonna put latex down, put cotton on top of it, and then you're gonna go over it again with another coat of latex. And it's gonna give you a weird texture. If you've never worked with it before, it's a latexy texture. And do that all over the outline. I left out the mouth and everywhere outside of the outline, just because I knew I was going to be putting teeth to cover a lot of the mouth, and I didn't want my mouth to be really impeded by anything. Venom also doesn't really have a nose, and so theoretically you could go whole ham and like cover your nose. I just knew with the high ammonia latex I was using, and the fact that I was only wearing this for a couple hours, I didn't necessarily want to make it more uncomfortable than it had to be. But I mean, you do you, no judgments. Make sure to bring the cotton and latex all the way down your neck, or however far you decided to bring it all. And you may have to go over some areas. But next we're taking water activated body paint in white. I'm using Mayron's Paradise AQ palette. And we're just gonna paint in the area that your eye, or Venom's eye, is. You won't be able to see it super well right here, but it will help in the final product make the eye look less yellowy. And then go ahead and paint the rest of the outline in black. This will be time consuming just because you'll have all the little crevices get into. I found that using a wetter mixture of body paint could help you get it into the crevices, and then you could use a more opaque body paint to get it the right shade of black that you were wanting. I was wanting. I also found that using a smaller brush did help me get into some of the harder to reach areas, like the little swirl by his eye, and also where the cotton pad touched like my nose. That was an area that I had to repaint like 4 or 5 times because I just was not getting that. But go ahead and paint everywhere. This will take a hot second. I chose to use water activated paints. You could use grease paints or cream makeup from your local Halloween store. I just have more water activated paints on hand, although you'll see later I picked up some black cream paint, so that could have been used just as well. If you do use cream paint, make sure to set it before going out, because cream paint doesn't set on its own. To set it properly, all you have to do is douse it in powder. I use baby powder, but mattifying powder or another translucent powder will work just as well. This is my Sex Bomb palette from, I don't know, it's from the drugstore. But the black powder is real good. It's super matte, really well pigmented, actually better than some of the more expensive palettes I own. But we're just gonna use that to help fill in some areas. So don't worry if like you're painting and it's just not happening. It's okay, you can use other methods. I also took a white NYX cream pencil in milk, I guess, and went ahead and filled in like the corner of the eye a little bit more. Okay, so now you're gonna take your black cream makeup that I picked up from a grocery store earlier and mix it with your remaining latex. It's gonna be like a charcoaly color, like a gray charcoaly color. It's not gonna be black, it'll dry black though. And go ahead and using a toothpick or another small brush that you don't mind ruining, paint gross veiny textures all around your outline. Not going into my hairline though. You want them to branch out, you want them to overlap some. It's okay if they get thicker in bits. It's good, just make them gross and veiny and just everywhere. If you're using low ammonia liquid latex, you can go pretty close to your eyes. Don't get it in your eyes, of course, or in your eyelashes or your eyebrow, because that all can be pretty painful to remove. Make sure to bring it down to the bottom of your seam too, back like down your neck. Mine is down my neck, yours might be further, I don't care, you do you. And as it dries, it will look more black and less gray, so it'll blend in a little better. If you want to get rid of the shininess of the veins, you can use a translucent powder and that'll help matte it without ruining anything. Now I already did the bottom teeth while my battery was charging, but we're gonna do the top teeth together. Go ahead and take those fake nails that you got earlier, and you can't see this very well, but I used some more liquid latex and tiny wads of cotton from those cotton balls we were tearing up, and I basically just soaked the cotton in the liquid latex, put it in the back of the nail, like the part that you glue to your finger, and then stuck it to my face. You don't want a ton of liquid latex on there because it will drip and get kind of gross around your mouth and on your face. You do want enough that it'll stay and that it'll connect the tooth, quote unquote, to your face. And do that all over. It's okay if your teeth end up not straight or kind of like gross and like gnarly looking, because it's Venom. He's not really a pretty boy. To do the gums, you're gonna take latex on a sponge again, and you're gonna put them on like the top half to the top third of your teeth. If you were doing the bottom row, this would be the bottom half or the bottom third of your teeth, basically the part that's super rounded. Once the latex is down, put a strip of cotton on it, pull off the excess bits, and then, using latex again, cover that in latex. Again, the lower ammonia stuff will be more comfortable to put around your nose. And if this part gets messy, don't worry about it. You can always go in and repaint areas that get like messed up, but I didn't even deal with that, and it got a little messy for me, so. And this cotton is going to turn into your gum line, so we are going to paint it in just a second. We're using alcohol activated paints to paint it. So I'm using a Real Effects Blood Bank palette, and the exact colors I'm using are Aged Blood, Capillary Blood, and Dead Blood. If you don't have this palette exactly, basically you want something that's red, a little brown, and maybe a little bit orangey pink, like a peachy orange even. And you're basically just going to dip your brush in alcohol and go through all three of those colors so you get a good mixture on your brush, and then paint it onto the gum line. And don't worry right now that it looks super duper matte, because we're going to fix that in a second. Once your gums are painted, go ahead and take your glycerin and pour it into a cup. And this glycerin is really great because it doesn't really dry. It's used a lot to treat chapped skin. And so it really helps with the whole slobbery thing that Venom's got going on. I just used my finger to brush it onto the gum line. You can use a brush, I just didn't want to find a clean one. Go ahead and grab that tongue from earlier too. And while it's not in your mouth, pour some glycerin on it. And it's okay if this gets everywhere. I don't recommend like drinking glycerin, but it's not gonna kill you if it gets in your mouth. It doesn't taste great, but it's okay. You can do it. And this tongue is safe to be in your mouth. I don't recommend eating it, but it's not gonna harm you if it sits in your mouth for a little bit. And that's your Venom look. Check that out. Go ahead and let your hair down since all the latex is dry now, and be a good slobbery monster for the night. Gross.
Alright everyone, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, or at least if you use this, tag me in it. I want to see. But like I said, easy. It's just, there's a lot to do. I'm gonna actually get this off now. I've been in this since like 3 o'clock, and my eye itch is right there, but I can't do anything about it. So I'm gonna get this off. I'm gonna wash my face. I also kind of didn't eat lunch before doing this, so I'm kind of hungry, but
What I forgot to say in this, go ahead and like and subscribe, and also comment below if you enjoyed the Venom movie. No spoilers, because I haven't seen it yet, but let's talk about it some once I have seen it. Have a good night or day.